Welcome to the DCA Friday Podcast, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm your host today, and with me is a very special guest. His name is Alex Adelman. And Alex, rather than me going ahead and giving the big intro, why don't you go ahead and tell us why you're here? Like, what are you working on that got my interest?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I think we have a lot to talk about. So I got a lot of exciting topics going on in the Bitcoin space. And then I'm biased, but I think we're working on some pretty cool stuff and really at the forefront of getting this next 100 million users into Bitcoin and increasing adoption, increasing distribution. But I think what you were somewhat interested in with Lolli is we have a lot of merchant adoption with over 750 merchant partners, and we have a lot of consumers that are talking about Lolli on Twitter. And I think people are really excited that they can earn Bitcoin instead of buy Bitcoin or mine Bitcoin. So we're on this mission to make Bitcoin accessible to all. And we have we're 6 months in and have a lot of traction so far. So look forward to diving in and having a good conversation.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So who are you exactly, and what is your background? I mean, where are you from, and what's your story?
Thanks for asking. My name is Alex Adelman. Born and raised in North Carolina. Got started in building Legos. I think it was the first thing I enjoyed building, and then my family got a computer, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna go build Legos on the computer, which looked a lot like video games. So started building video games when I was like 12. Having both parents with a background in psychology. I think a lot of, what I care about is like design thinking, psychology of why people use products, why people play games, why people do the things that they do. And being like a kid of the internet and just like having this sort of like Legos of the computer just like at my fingertips, just got really like fascinated in like building technology and what was behind like the most pervasive technologies and platforms and everything like that. So started building professionally when I was like 16, started building websites, backend platforms, got more on like the product design side, building teams throughout college, and studied economics in school, Chapel Hill, and just really got like fascinated with this intersection of like economics, microfinance, and psychology, and was sort of like learned about the democratization of commerce and studied democratization of commerce through the Green Bank, trickle up economics that occurred when you enable a population to, with a technology, with a service that they can offer. So started studying that, and that was sort of my first fascination with, I think, what would become Bitcoin. After college, I started building this technology called Cosmic, and it started as a universal shopping cart. The idea behind Cosmic was, how do you enable everybody to buy and sell anywhere? We have this incredible thing that the internet provided us, which is this interconnectivity between everybody in the world, hypothetically, if you have a device. And what does that enable us to do? I remember like working on a lot of like early payments projects and just being really like frustrated with how inefficient it was to connect. I could connect, with my neighbor down the street and we could pay each other with PayPal. But if I wanted to, pay somebody overseas, or like, how do I pay a merchant overseas? It sort of broke down from there. You started to realize like you were on the rails of an archaic system. You had to pay all these like tax collectors along the way that were charging you for things that you should probably not be charged for. And so that, like, my early frustrations with like the internet and the gatekeepers of the internet sort of like led me into believing that we should have a more open financial system, an open payment system. And my team and I started building this thing called Cosmic. So we built that over about...
How did you actually correct me if I'm wrong, but you said, but Cosmic was like a discount sort of thing as well, wasn't it?
Cosmic was, so we powered discount sites, we powered cashback sites, we powered, affiliate like marketing sites, we powered publishers. The whole idea was like, if you're like, Target doesn't just want to sell at target.com. Right. A bracelet maker in North Carolina doesn't want to just sell on Shopify. Like, products are everywhere and people are talking about products everywhere, and the consumer wants to buy wherever their interest is peaked. Like, if I'm on Instagram, I want to buy from Instagram. If I'm on a publisher's website, if I'm on YouTube, I want to buy right there. And
yeah, well, you still have that ooh factor. Ooh, shiny.
Like, ooh, I want this thing, or ooh, I need this thing. And the
Mm-hmm.
inconvenience of like hopping all around the internet and going to all these checkout pages, if you look at the psychology behind it, every single click that you make, a user drops off. And so if you're just talking about like convenience for both the seller and the buyer, a better world is like having the ability to buy and sell seamlessly wherever someone is. So we built this cool technology called Cosmic. We powered a lot of merchant sites, a lot of publisher sites, and we connected the internet in our own way. And about 4.5 years in, we ended up getting acquired by our biggest customer to come in and power 1.2 billion in retail revenue. And it was a really exciting year. We ended up growing a lot post-acquisition, learning a ton, and then ended up getting acquired again by an even bigger company, which is called Ebates. And Ebates is the biggest cashback company in the US and arguably in the world. But they have a pretty large footprint, especially after being acquired by Rakuten, massive like Japanese conglomerate, deep fintech rails. And so we ended up learning a lot about the cashback space. We were there for about a year and parted ways. And I should back up a little bit because we were a few years into Cosmic when we first learned about Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How did you find out about Bitcoin, and what was it about Bitcoin that made you say, I want to be in this space?
It was everything. Our entire mission with Cosmic was to democratize commerce. Like that was why we woke up like I speak for my team, but why I woke up, every day. It was like, how do I build towards this mission? And it's like this 20 to 25 year mission of like democratizing commerce, in like taking advantage of all the capabilities that the internet provided us and with this interconnectivity.
Right.
And where social sort of started, where we could be connected on like Facebook, we could be connected through WhatsApp, we could be connected through Telegram. The next phase is like, how do we connect through commerce, through a common currency? And so how do we get to that? And when I learned about Bitcoin, I was like, everything that we're building with Cosmic is native in this currency. And it's the first asset that I've ever seen where people could be connected through the same currency. And that just really excited me. So, in our Slack channels, we post Bitcoin articles in like the random channel. And then we had like a Bitcoin channel. And then, our whole team got really excited because it was a shared mission. And so, yeah, we just sort of like kept in touch with it over the years, and all, on a personal note, we're just like very fascinated with it. And when we emerged, during all of our sabbaticals, we were just figuring out like, what do we want to build next? We all kind of came to this similar conclusion that we wanted to work in the Bitcoin space. We were playing around in the Ethereum space a little bit with building in Solidity and just like messing around with smart contracts. We were fascinated with like a lot of different things in crypto. And I remember walking around Washington Square Park with Arjun Balaji, and I remember him like just setting me straight, where he was just like, "Hey, you read the Satoshi white paper again. Like, familiarize yourself with like Bitcoin again," because I had Bitcoin is what got me into the space, but then there was all these exciting things, all these like shiny objects.
Yes, lots of shiny objects.
and my, we got sort of distracted, but I think when we came back to what the core issue was, and I started, went back to Minneapolis, I went back to Omaha, back to North Carolina, and I started to get to the core of like why people had not adopted Bitcoin. And a lot of it was like, they didn't understand what it was. And they definitely didn't even know what Ethereum was or EOS or any of these other platforms that were being built. And so we had to get back to basics. If we were going to take Bitcoin, if we were going to take crypto to the next billion people, we're not going to do it through like an altcoin. We're not going to do it through this alternative currency. We're going to do it through Bitcoin. It's what got me interested. I think it was what got a lot of people interested. And then it got me distracted, when I started like looking at other things. Mm-hmm. So we got back to basics and started like building Ebates for Bitcoin. How do you distribute Bitcoin to a lot of people? You give them cash back, and you take something that people already do, which is shop online, and you let them reward Bitcoin. You reward them with Bitcoin for it. And when they have Bitcoin,
but what was it that made you say that Bitcoin needs a discount shopping experience? Like what caused those two things to merge together?
I saw this rabid audience at Ebates. Like, people fucking love Ebates. Like, we would get this customer that would send in these unsolicited videos, and we'd go into like all hands, and they would play these videos of like these like moms in the Midwest that would be like, I got my big fat check. Like, I love Ebates, that kind of thing. And when you see that, like, it's an older audience, It's this like coupon clipper generation.
Yeah.
If you can repackage that and give it to like, a younger audience that wants Bitcoin more than cash, like I think a lot about like user psychology, and it really boils down to a very simple philosophy that if you went to a 25-year-old and you said, would you want $5 in cash or $5 in Bitcoin? A lot of people would say $5 in Bitcoin, because $5 in cash doesn't change their world. It's not gonna like do anything. $5 in Bitcoin is almost like it's an investment. It's a lottery ticket. It's like this hope of something more.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have skin in the game, then it invites you in to learn more.
It entices you to learn more about it.
Exactly. Like I didn't have any money like when I bought Bitcoin. Like I wish I clearly bought more like when I first learned about it, but I was like, this is interesting on just an intellectual level. I'm curious, so I'm going to buy a little bit. And then once I bought a little bit, it was like, okay, now I have to know about it because like I have an asset here. It's like I'm invested in like understanding what I own. And if you can just give someone $5 in Bitcoin, they can go tell their friends, oh, I have Bitcoin. Like, oh, I got it for free. Oh, I like shop. All you have to do is shop online, and it happened to go up. Like since we launched, Bitcoin has almost doubled. And so immediately, like from our first like 10,000 users, those 10,000 users like got Bitcoin and then it doubled. Like that's going to pique their interest. And then we have their attention so that we can teach them more over time about Bitcoin. And every single time that you can have this positive feedback loop, it's going to get really exciting. And it's going to be our opportunity to educate that user on the power of Bitcoin.
What has been the feedback consensus on this project?
I mean, I don't want to be like oversell it, but it's been like 99.9% positive. Like people have been like, we have two customers.
Have you gotten the I got my Bitcoin video yet?
Oh, totally. Look on Twitter, like search Lolli. Like people are fucking obsessed with Lolli, and it's like we were right about this. Like, I mean, people love free things. Like it doesn't matter if it's like Bitcoin or Yeezys or like cash. Like people love things that are free. And the real like it's almost like a like we're sort of in the business of like selling a scarce asset. And, we have this altruistic mission that like Bitcoin is not good for the world. And so it's like, we are fueled by that. So it's like, there's a reason why we're doing Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, people love getting things for free. Like we're just like sort of the good guys in the space that are both communicating, like for the hardcore Bitcoin community, we're I think the first product that has really communicated Bitcoin to the masses. So it's the first thing like, part of my interest when I said I went back to North Carolina, I was on all these text threads with friends from back home that were like, should I buy Bitcoin? And what's the easiest way to buy Bitcoin? And then my mom's literally asking me like, should I buy Bitcoin? Should, I invest in Bitcoin? Is it important like for retirement? And I'm just like stressing out because I'm like, I don't want to give my parents like financial advice. I don't want to give anyone financial advice. And so I was like, how can I make an easy way for my mom to get into Bitcoin, my sister to get into Bitcoin, my friends and family.
Send them to 10 days of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, it's funny though, because like I would send them articles, but like I was always hesitant to send them Coinbase because when you send someone Coinbase, you're basically indirectly giving someone financial advice to invest in something. And you also have like a 7-day window where they have to go hook up their bank account, get approved, do all this KYC, and then go invest their hard-earned money. It's just like too hard. Lolli, you literally just like put in your email address and you're up and running and you shop as you normally would at Walmart, at Priceline, at Hilton, Marriott, Office Depot, Everlane, like wherever you're shopping.
You got Stater Brothers, Food Lion, and Piggly Wiggly?
Not yet. No, we're getting there.
Because a growing trend has been getting your groceries delivered through apps. Like, are there any plans for Lolli apps or existing apps with the Lolli integration?
Totally. So people have shifted their behavior quite a bit in order to stack more sats, earn more Bitcoin. They've been shopping at Jet, Brandless, have been two of our biggest partners for grocery. We're like in talks with like a lot of really interesting grocery partners based on our early traction there. So, I mean, I like to talk about like when you use Lolli and when if you believe in Bitcoin, you're investing, you're like voting with your dollars. When you shop at Jet, I'm taking this and I'm saying, to other partners, like, this is a big opportunity. But what the merchants really care about, why we've gotten so many merchants, is because we're bringing them this customer that is voting with their dollars.
That otherwise wouldn't have. shop with them online or use
Oh, exactly.
through an app.
Totally. Like we have taken away so much revenue from Amazon and we distributed it to all these amazing merchants that wouldn't have seen the light of day, and they wouldn't have reached these customers. And that's the real like business model. If you're really breaking down like Lolli, is like the value to these merchants and why they're excited and why it's the first real like mass merchant adoption. We have so many Fortune 500 retailers on our platform because we have this like excited consumer that like sees these brands that they recognize and they want to shop these brands and they want to earn. The reason is because like we're driving revenue to these merchants. They get excited. The consumer gets excited because they're getting the same shit that they would get on Amazon, but they can get it elsewhere. And they just use our partners instead of maybe partners they might have used, or they're using the same partners, either one.
Right. Well, why don't you share with us the story of why you chose the name Lolli?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Like I grew up going to the bank in North Carolina. I think it was First Union was the bank I grew up with.
I grew up with BB&T.
Okay. Yeah. Back in the day.
Oh yeah.
A lot of BBTs and wait, BB&T. What was it?
Yeah, British Bank and Trust, like BB.
Yeah, what does it even stand
in Scarborough,
for?
North Carolina.
Totally. Yeah, I've never seen a lot of those around North Carolina. So I remember like going to the bank with my dad, and the bank being this like kind of like it's just something I didn't look forward to. But at the end, you would always get a lollipop. You know, if you were good and you like got to the end, and like my dad would like give me and my sister a lollipop. And Bitcoin right now feels like kind of this uninviting bank. And if I'm a big believer that Bitcoin is the bank of the future, and if it's going to be the Bitcoin of the future, it needs to have the lollipop at the end. It needs to have some sort of like fun, rewarding element to it. So we picked the name Lolli, short for lollipop, and we got the domain name for a great price. And the rest is history. Here we are.
That's awesome. Now, I know you're not creating a native token at this time. Can you explain why?
I just don't believe in a native token at this point. If I saw value, like real value, like I mean, there's a reason why we haven't brought on other currencies. Like we are Bitcoin only, and that's not to take away the free market. Like you can do whatever you want with your Bitcoin. You can buy whatever currency, whatever token, anything you want with your Bitcoin, your coins, like your keys, your coins. The thing that I am very adamant about is like, I want the absolute like highest quality, and we're selling value. Like I want to give something of value. If I'm going to give something that I don't 100% believe in, it's a scary value proposition, and it ruins our credibility. Like if you look at everything that just happened with BSV,
like that was horrible.
And I had this like joke tweet that like went viral, and I was like, we're having a hard time delisting BSV because we never offered it in the first place. And I was only like half kidding, but it like went viral. And I was like, we don't offer shit coins. Like we don't offer that. We only offer Bitcoins because it's what we believe in. And if you think about one sort of mental model or thing that shapes my decision making is thinking about like what people are optimizing for. And I think it's really important for the consumer to understand what businesses are optimizing for. Exchanges are optimizing for you to trade currencies. That's why you have all of these exchanges that have offered all these shit coins and have offered thousands of currencies. And like some, they may defend the fact that it's like, oh, let's create a free market. Everybody should be able to buy and sell whatever they want. But really, like, it's sort of, it's a bad experience for the consumer, and you're misleading a consumer if you're showing them something that's like disguising itself as Bitcoin. If you're like offering this thing, and if you have like nefarious characters, behind it, and you haven't done your diligence, like, sure, there should be decentralized exchanges where you can go like get anything you want in the world. But then I think there's sort of like a standard that you should create if you're going to be at the forefront. And Lolli is very lucky, I think, to be at the forefront of like these new consumers. And so we have this responsibility to Bitcoin. We have this responsibility to the entire crypto industry that if we're going to educate people, it can't be confusing. It has to be dead simple. And we have to give people real value. So I at some point, like when I see value in other currencies, we will add them. If I see like, I'm not this like dogmatic, closed-minded individual. And I'm not saying anything bad about, I would consider myself at this point a Bitcoin maximalist. but I'm not a dogmatic maximalist. I'm open to new currencies. I've seen a lot that have like piqued my interest on a personal level, and I've invested in. I'm very open-minded. Like I want someone to come around with a better Bitcoin. Like I would love that. I'm open to it. I just haven't seen it yet. So I take meetings all the time with like new currencies, new coins. Like I want to be proven wrong. But right now I firmly believe in Bitcoin. And I don't want to ruin the trust of our users. This whole business is about trust. Like the reason why we're in Bitcoin is because we didn't trust something. It's like it's a trust arbitrage. You're saying like, I didn't trust some institution, whether it be a bank, whether it be a government, whether it be some institution that private institution that like in some way ruined your trust. And we're going into this trustless ecosystem because we want trust. And so as an institution that is in the business of trust, like we have to establish this trust with our consumer. And if we don't, we're dead.
I like it. So no plans for a native coin at this time. Let's just stick with tried, true, and trusted. All right. Yes. I like it. All right. Now I noticed no white paper or roadmap. Where would you say that you are on, Lolli's roadmap? What sort of things can we expect for Lolli's future?
Yeah, so we have an internal roadmap, but since we launched, I would say like our users have really shaped our roadmap. We're super active on Twitter. We're getting like feature requests.
Yeah, I've noticed your Twitter is blowing up. It's always like my phone's always going off. I had to put it on silent.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, we want Bitcoin to be part of like everybody's like daily activity and be part of like a ritual. And a lot of our users are like finding us on Twitter. So, we've been super active. I think, we make fun memes. We like educate consumers about the power of Bitcoin. Like we're using Twitter as this like hive mind, this like platform to like distribute information, to share like how you can earn more. And our users have been super active. Like everyone's creating content around Lolli and around Bitcoin, and we're encouraging it. So far, I would say like our users have really shaped our roadmap. They've been super active in requesting different features. Our roadmap for the next like 3 months, we're launching a dramatically improved search functionality to give people more tools to search retailers on a product level, on a merchant level, way more dynamic search. We're launching Firefox in a couple weeks.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And so
Brave.
Brave is kind of interesting. Like we're talking with the Brave team. It's not as easy as you think. We have some really smart privacy tools in place to protect our users. If you look at sort of the incumbents in the space around cashback and rewards, there's a lot of like privacy concerns, and I won't name names, but just think about like how they're in the data business. Like they're out there sharing this data. And so we basically built a minimum viable sharing data platform that we don't want your data. The only thing we want to do is help you earn Bitcoin with these merchants. And so we're not tracking any other websites. The only thing we track is like if you've gone to Walmart.com, if you've gone to Jet.com, if you've gone to Overstock.com, we have to communicate that with the merchant. And we have to say like Chris is on Overstock.com. Chris, is buying this thing through Overstock. Overstock communicates with us. We give Chris his reward. Like go on and like have your data, own your data. That's all we want. And so with Brave, they're in the business of blocking all of that information, regardless of what good it has. And so we're sort of like figuring out right now, like, how do we work internally in those ecosystems? I love Firefox just as a personal user. Chrome is the best for distribution for getting Bitcoin to the masses. It has the big user base. So we launched on Chrome. We're live on Safari. Firefox is like super privacy minded. And like, I'm really excited about Firefox, and they're inviting for partners like us. They're understanding. Brave is super new. Like they're trying to figure out, who do they let on? Who do they not? So, yeah, we're in talks with Brave, and we're pretty excited about the platform, but we're not live on Brave yet.
Right. So let's go beyond the next 3 months. What do you personally hope for Lolli's future?
So we're on a mission to make Bitcoin accessible to all, and we can't do that if we're US only. So we're going to be opening up Canada pretty soon, and as like a test market, and then we're going to be opening up Bitcoin in Lolli internationally. I'm personally really excited for that. I think that there's a lot to do. It's not as easy as people think. It's easy on the Bitcoin side of like giving people Bitcoin rewards. It's not as easy on the merchant side. Merchants are still localized. They're still like, geographically constrained. So we have to do a lot of business development on our end. And going back to value and consistency and quality, as somebody who thinks deeply about product and the psychology behind the product, you can't have a compromised experience just because you want to go into a new location, and you can't grow faster than you can possibly scale. So I'm not willing to give up the quality that we have in the US right now in order to scale internationally, to give someone a compromised experience. Because if you go into a new market, let's just say if we go into like Singapore tomorrow and we're not ready to go into Singapore and it's a compromised experience, someone has a bad experience with Lolli, they have a bad experience with Bitcoin, and then they're unhappy with Bitcoin. I look at us as like, we're representing Bitcoin. So we're going to get international. That's our mission. Like, we need to distribute Bitcoin to everybody. We want to distribute Bitcoin to billions of people. We can't do that if we're not quality, we're not keeping quality in mind. So the best thing you can do right now is like share it with your friends in the US, like shop at, merchants that we offer, and we're going to grow as fast as we possibly can with the funds that we have, and the team that we have. But yeah, I'm really excited about international, and then I'm really excited about mobile. I want to make Lolli I want to make Lolli and Bitcoin like this daily experience. I want every day for you to go get your coffee and think about Bitcoin, earn Bitcoin with like every touch point you possibly have. Every time you take out your credit card, every time you pay a friend, I want you to think about Bitcoin. That's our ethos. That's the psychology behind every product we build. And mobile takes that to a more daily ritual, and international takes it to more of a wider audience.
I love it. Now, how do you see the trends around the earnings, the psychology using the Lolli app? I remember looking at and listening to your interview with Mike from Decentralized TV, and you were talking about how Lolli has actually changed people's shopping behavior. Can you talk more about this?
Yeah. So previously, I think most like modern consumers, savvy shoppers, like would just shop at Amazon because it's easy.
I certainly do.
Yeah, it's easy. It's the everything store. What a lot of people don't realize is like a lot of these merchants have caught up. Like they've studied Amazon, they've caught up with Amazon. And so a lot of these merchants, I mean, Jet, like 6 months ago, I'm biased, but like I completely shifted over to Jet because I'm like, again, I'm not going to sell something I don't believe in. I have not looked back. I haven't shopped at Amazon in 6 months. I'm like stacking sats. I'm like earning Bitcoin. I'm only shopping at our merchants. And my experience hasn't changed. Like I'm not a less happy consumer. I haven't had any customer service issues with Jet. Haven't had any customer service issues with like Booking.com or Priceline, like Everlane. Like my experience, like I've shifted where I've shopped because I care about Bitcoin more than I care about like Amazon. And I don't really want to keep supporting an institution that can like completely like shift prices and like shut down other merchants. It's like, if you believe in the ethos of decentralization, you also should believe in the idea that you should distribute, you should like, support different projects, different like merchants. And so,
not just have warehouses in multiple locations to get the products faster.
Exactly.
Before your interview, I'd never actually heard of Jet before. So
a lot of people haven't. It's an amazing company. They're a huge supporter of us, huge supporter of Bitcoin community. Like they've seen like, like I send Amazon like everybody's tweets. I'm like, look, we're sending, like people are getting fucking pumped for Jet, and like they're not going to Amazon anymore. They're anti-Amazon now because you guys won't support Bitcoin. Like it's so easy for them to support Bitcoin. They could join us tomorrow if they wanted to, and they haven't. And so like, it's like balls in their court. If they want to keep like sending our tens of thousands of users to Jet, like be my guest, like keep holding out. I'm giving the invitation. Like we're talking to all the decision makers at all these companies. Like, I've been in this space for 7 years. I've sold to every retailer in North America.
What's holding them back?
We are such a small fish in comparison to who they normally do business with. Like to give you some sort of scale, I won't name names, but there's partners that are probably like 500 times bigger than us that they don't work with. They work with Ebates. Ebates is about the only cashback company that they work with. And Ebates scale, like Ebates is sending them over $1 billion in sales. Like we're hopefully we'll get there eventually, but like we're not there yet. The fact that they're even considering Lolli is because they've seen how rabid our community is and how excited they are for Bitcoin, how loyal they are to Bitcoin. And if the more that we show that this community is building and how loyal they are to Lolli, like that's when they start to shift to support us. Right now, they're not going to support us because our volume's so small, but relative to the amount of people we have and the amount of sales we're doing, they are like engaged. Every month I send them a report of like how many sales we're sending away from them and all the merchants that we're supporting. And like that, when that number keeps getting bigger and bigger and it keeps growing exponentially, that's when they start to get scared. Like they're super fucking smart over there. Like clearly they're going to come on board when there's a market opportunity and a financial incentive to come on board. And the way that you get Amazon, the way you get any merchant to accept Bitcoin is to get them to join Lolli, to get them to earn, like distribute Bitcoin and earning. It's a way lower threshold. It's a sort of dipping their toes in. And our whole product roadmap of the next 5 years is we get everybody to adopt Bitcoin, merchants to adopt Bitcoin because it's super low hanging fruit. They're just attracting, new customers, new sales. And I want to go to Walmart. I want to go to Amazon in 5 years, 2 years, whenever the timing is right. And I say, look, we've driven you $100 million in sales over the last few years. Accept Bitcoin. Like we have all of your customers that both have and want Bitcoin and like have these wallets that want to like spend Bitcoin. That's how you take Bitcoin from a store of value to a medium of exchange. You have to give the merchant the market opportunity, which is where we're at, and then also couple that with a financial incentive to take away the credit card companies, to take away the banks. You have to give them the financial incentive to like reduce chargebacks to like 0%. Reduce credit card rates to near 0%. Like that's how you take Bitcoin to the masses and change it from a like store value to a medium of exchange.
That is outstanding. The longer that Amazon stays away, the better other companies will grow because like I said, I'd never heard of Jet. I'm going to start shopping there personally. But let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk about your team. If I'm not mistaken, your team's followed you from business to business, correct? You guys have been around together how long? How'd you guys meet?
Yeah, great question. Matt Center is my co-founder and CTO of Cosmic and now Lolli. And we're a team of 8 right now. And out of 8, 7 of us all built Cosmic together. So we got the band back together and we'll probably add even more of us as we continue to grow. But I think it speaks a lot to like our culture and like our mission. Our team is very mission oriented. We care, like I said, very deeply about the democratization of commerce. And, we all have like, different viewpoints of like how we get there and like, what, on a political level on like, different viewpoints. And we're very inviting to like different, schools of thought. But at the end of the day, we all care about enabling people, like giving everyone in the world the ability to buy and sell anywhere, to transact anywhere. And, I think we like are good people. Like I would say everyone here is like mission oriented, like very customer oriented. We all like, we have a whole channel that's just like all about our customers and everything people are saying. That's just this constant feedback loop to like really hear our customers and put that right into the product. So, to answer your question, I met Matt on Google Plus of all places.
Wow, that doesn't even exist anymore.
I know. It's
like MySpace.
Total serendipity. Like we were in each other's circles, if you remember that, Google circles. And I think we were in a lot of circles. We were in like e-commerce circle, technology circle, North Carolina circle, and we just connected over the internet and became friends. Started like sharing a lot of things with each other, and then with my last company, we had gone through like 5 CTOs before we just didn't find anybody that could truly build what we wanted to build. So we brought Matt on, and in like 2 weeks, he builds a prototype that was incredible. And I was like, okay, he sees the world in a very similar way that I do. He dropped his previous project to build to the democratization of commerce. And he's an unbelievably brilliant engineer, leader, product mind, everything. He also is like incredible at business development and like partnerships and everything. He's just amazing. So I can talk about him for hours, but
sounds like one hell of a bromance.
Yeah, we've become pretty close over the years. So as you can imagine, the ups and downs of the startup world and like fundraises, the acquisitions we've gone through, we've been through a lot together. Have really become like close friends over the last 7 years. And so when we both sort of after we parted ways with Ebates, we took some time off and like did our own thing for a little bit. He was like building in Solidity. I was playing around with a few like different things in rewards and smart contracts and that kind of thing. And we both came together and we were thinking about like I guess our brains have probably merged at some point, and we were thinking about things very, very similarly.
You got that synchronicity going on.
Exactly, the hive mind. And so we ultimately came together again after building Cosmic and clearly enjoying building it together, but wanting to sort of take time to come to a new idea. And every few months I would like call him up, be like, hey man, what are you thinking about? Like, what are you building? What's up? And we both just like sort of came to this idea that we were going to hopefully solve the Bitcoin distribution problem. And we came to the idea at an oddly like similar time. We had taken like time to sort of invest in the next idea. And so he, like very similar to Cosmic, he like built a prototype in a couple weeks. I started talking to merchants like absolutely just started to like eat this thing up. In the first 6 months of like hardcore heads down BD, we ended up landing over 500 merchants, and a lot of those were previous merchants that we worked with.
Nice.
So I just called up all my old friends in the space and was like, hey, we're up to something new. You trusted us with their last company. Like we're also building the future with this company. Matt was out there, building it. I was out there selling it and selling the dream. And yeah, we've been working together on this project for a year, and it's gone really well. So just building the team back and doing it again. And every, team member that we've brought on has like done the same thing, like built their, contributed therein, like coming in and playing everybody has like a role. So it's been really exciting, really fun year.
That sounds amazing. Amazing. I haven't had my coffee or enough coffee today. Yeah. All right. So how can people help you? Where can they find you? I know that the following that you do have on Twitter, is, absolutely loves you. How can they help you? How can people find you?
Follow us on Twitter, use Lolli, like give us feedback. We have so many channels you can connect with us, and we're really active everywhere, but Twitter, we're super active. You can reach out on our website. There's like a little thing at the bottom where you can just be like, hey, Victoria, hey, Shayna, hey, Alex. Hey, I'm curious about like where I can earn on like men's shoes, where I can earn on travel. Like we're super active on there. And then, if you I think the biggest way that you can help is like vote with your dollars. If you believe in Bitcoin, you believe in Lolli, like you want to distribute it to more people, share Lolli with your friends. We have an awesome referral program where you can earn $5 in Bitcoin. We have, if you're shopping with our merchants, you can earn a lot of Bitcoin. We've had people earn an absurd amount of Bitcoin so far, just in like a few months, just by like changing their shopping habits and like asking questions and learning more. So, just get active in our community and like share with your friends. Like this is the application that's going to take Bitcoin to the masses. Everybody shops online. It's just simple. It's approachable, and it's our job to educate. So, trust us with that. We are going to do that job. And just like very thankful for all of our users and anyone who's invested time, energy into Bitcoin Core, and then also Lolli as sort of like a layer on top of Bitcoin Core.
So they can find you at Try Lolli at Twitter.
Yes, and then lolli.com, LOLLI.com.
LOLLI. All right. That's a wrap for today. I hope everybody listening and watching it enjoyed that. I'm totally looking forward. Like I've already got Lolli on my browser for Chrome, and nice. I just found Jet, so I'm looking forward to going through and, finding out what else I can get on discount and, earn some extra Satoshis. That'd be great.
Those stats.
Oh, yes. Alex, final words. Anything you'd like to tell people? Thankful for all of our users, everyone who's been active in helping this. Like it's a community effort. We can't do this with 8 people. We have to do this with everybody. So, I'm just very thankful for all the support so far, for you having me on the podcast. Thank you everyone for everything so far. And like the only way we're going to do this is if we do it together. So, I'm excited for the future and open to feedback. So just let me know how we can improve, how we can do better. Outstanding. I look forward to having you guys back on, let's say that when Amazon gets on, come talk to us.
Yeah, that'll be a big announcement. We'll do a big tour. Go around in the big bus. Hey, we got Amazon.
There you go.
Win Amazon, win Moon, all that.
When can I get my groceries delivered using a Lolli?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for the DCA Friday podcast. This is Alex from Lolli. Be sure to go ahead and check him out on Twitter and go to lolli.com and sign up. Share it with your friends and start earning those Satoshis. Earn some Bitcoin. You guys have a great one. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.